So hello everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the superscalar and super pipeline concept. So in the previous video, what we have learned about parallel processing, the different types of parallel processings, the different classifications of parallel processing. Other than that, we have also learned the concept of clusters. So today our focus will be on superscalar and super pipeline. Let us see. So what is the superscalar? It was first invented in 1987. So what superscalar does is superscalar processor executes multiple independent instructions in parallel. So here we have learned the concept of pipelining. So where we are trying to execute multiple instructions at a particular time. Similar to that, in superscalar processor also, we are trying to execute multiple independent instructions in parallel. The most important thing here to note is that the instructions should be independent of each other. As you are able to see on the screen, those instructions should be independent. So there should not be dependency between the instructions. So some of the common instructions which are used can be initiated simultaneously and executed independently, such as if we are having arithmetic operations, one instruction is containing arithmetic operation, the second instruction is containing, suppose, load or store operation. So all these operations are different. Those are not dependent on each other. So automatically, these kind of instructions can be executed independently. Generally, this is applicable to both RISC and CISC. So we have learned that concept also. What is RISC? RISC is nothing but reduce instruction set computer. And what is CISC? CISC is nothing but complex instruction set computer. But generally, superscalar concept is used in RISC. So why superscalar? So most of the operations are on a scalar quantities, means a lot of operations we are executing at a particular time. So this superscalar was designed to improve the performance of these operations by executing them concurrently in multiple pipelines. So what we are trying to achieve over here, that we want to execute number of instructions concurrently in multiple pipelines. So the pipeline concept is used in this, and of course there are multiple pipelines. So what is the superscalar performance? So multiple independent instructions, pipelines are used. Each pipeline consists of multiple stages. We have seen all the stages of pipelines. So if you remember, there is the instruction fetch, instruction decode, instruction execute, memory, write back. All those were the stages of pipeline. All these multiple stages can handle the multiple instructions at a particular time. A superscalar processor typically fetches multiple instructions at a particular time and then attempts to find nearby instructions that are independent of one another and can therefore be executed in parallel. So what we are trying to achieve, that we have to look for all the independent instructions, and all those independent instructions will be executed in parallel. And that is nothing but a superscalar concept. If the input to one instruction depends on the output of the preceding instruction, then the latter instruction cannot be complete execution at the same time or before the former instruction. So there can be some problems. There can be problems that one instruction is dependent on the other. So automatically that instruction cannot be executed. So we have to wait. So how is the general superscalar organization? So you are able to see the configuration below supports the parallel execution of two integer operations. So you are able to see here that there is an integer register file, and here is the floating register file, and there is also memory. So like this, one particular computer or processor can work on, suppose, two integer operations. Here you are able to see that there are two integer operations which are being performed. Here also there are two floating operations which are being performed, and also one memory operation. So like this, we are able to perform multiple operations or multiple instructions in parallel. Similar to this, there is also a concept of super pipeline. Pipeline concept we have seen simply, where we have learned all the stages. In super pipeline, what happens is super pipeline is an alternative approach to achieve the greater performance. So if you are not comfortable with superscalar organization, so you can use a super pipeline concept also. This was invented in 1988. Many pipeline stages need less than a half a clock cycle. In pipelining concept, what we have learned, that there is a one clock cycle which is required to perform one operation. Means we have seen that for instruction fetching we require one clock cycle, for instruction decoding we require one clock cycle, like this. But it is not always mandatory that we require a complete clock cycle. Sometimes a particular operation can be done in less than a half a clock cycle. So that uh, we can use for super pipeline concept. So super pipelining is nothing but the breaking of stages of a given pipeline into smaller stages. So in an attempt to shorten the clock periods, so here we are trying to do what? We are trying to reduce the clock cycle, and automatically what will happen? The throughput of the processor will be increased. So we are able to execute more and more instructions at the same time. So here you are able to see that in the last video, we have learned the pipelining concept. Here also you are able to see that the same stages are written over here. So this is nothing but your instruction fetch, instruction decode, instruction execution, memory operation, and write back. And we said that in the pipelining concept that one clock cycle is required for performing one particular operation. So this was the pipelining concept. Right now we are trying to learn super pipeline. Here you are able to see that in one clock cycle it is performing one instruction, but at when there is a half clock cycle which is finished, you are able to see that next instruction is also fetched by the processor. So what we are trying to do is, in within a half clock cycle we are trying to execute multiple instructions. So like this, automatically what will happen, if we are using a super pipeline concept, the time which is required for execution of all the instruction will be reduced. So that is also shown over here. So if we can consider that if 8 minutes were required for pipelining concept to execute the whole program, here only 6.5 minutes are required for execution of whole program. Similar to that, we have to consider about superscalar versus super pipeline. So in the simple pipeline system, we perform only one pipeline stage per clock cycle that we have just seen. In super pipeline system, we are capable of performing two pipeline stages per clock cycle. So that also we have seen. Look at superscalar now. Superscalar performs only one pipeline stage per clock cycle in each parallel pipeline. So here you are able to see that in one clock cycle, in the superscalar organization, we are able to uh, fetch two instructions at a particular time, and those two instructions will be executed in parallel. But which instructions? The instructions which are independent of each other. Means there should not be dependency between the two instructions. So like this, two instructions are performed in at a particular time. Again we are taking the two instructions and we are performing them at a time, and again two instructions. So automatically if you compare all these different techniques, so here the first technique was about the simple pipeline where more time was required. In super pipeline, half of the clock cycle is utilized for bringing the next instruction. So automatically the time is reduced in this case. And similarly in superscalar, as we are able to perform multiple instructions, more time is reduced for in the superscalar organization. So this is just a comparison between the three different concepts. So what are the benefits and the drawback? So the benefit is that the major benefit of super pipelining is the increase in the number of instructions which can be in the pipeline at this at particular time, and automatically the level of parallelism is increased. So that is of course the benefit of super pipeline. What are the drawbacks? The drawbacks are the larger number of instructions at any time increases the potential for data dependencies and to introduce the stalls. Means if there are large number of instructions at a particular time in the pipeline, and if the instructions are dependent on each other, then automatically what will happen, then the wait time of the instruction is increased, and that can create a lot of problems. What are the limitations? The limitations are we are executing the multiple instructions in parallel. Uh, so that instruction level parallelism may or may not be achieved by using superscalar. And for that, what we require is the combination of both compiler-based optimization and hardware techniques, which can be used to maximize the instruction level parallelism. So automatically, what we have to change is the hardware which is required for doing all these things. So automatically that becomes a limitation of superscalar organization. We require that kind of a processor. We require that kind of a memories which can be executed in parallel. What are the limitations to parallelism? So of course, the data dependency is the most important thing. So there should be true data dependency, means there can be data dependency between the instruction. One instruction is going for the same data which is required by the other instruction. There can be a procedural dependency. So so we know that each program is executed in a certain fashion, and there can be dependency between the different instruction. Resource conflicts. Resource means two instructions can require the same resource. So resources are nothing but either we can take examples of memory. Memory is also a resource, or we can consider an input device or output device. So if two instructions are requiring the same resource, so automatically there will be conflicts. Then there can be an output dependency or anti-dependency. So basically, the problem which we are facing in parallelism is that there should not be dependency between the instructions. If there is a dependency between the instructions, then parallelism is not achieved. And the solutions to those are nothing but whatever we have seen, the pipeline concept, the superscalar concept, or the super pipeline concept. So same thing is explained in this particular PPT. So the major problem of executing the multiple instructions in a scalar program is the handling of data dependencies, whatever we just said. If the data dependency are not effectively handled, it is difficult to achieve an execution rate of more than one instruction per clock cycle. So if in your program, if all the instructions are dependent on each other, so how many instructions I can run at a particular time? Only one instruction I can execute at a particular time. So automatically it becomes a simple execution and your parallelism is not achieved. So this was all about superscalar and super pipeline concept. So hopefully you have understood